talk about the new third and everything like that. So yeah, I'm not sure what we can really talk about. Really, I'm not gonna tell you who the third is. Definitely not. That's gonna be an announcement. We gotta wait for that. Yeah, we'll kind of chill on that. But we can talk about Yanya. Yeah, we can talk about Yanya for a second here. But yeah, everyone's, you guys are gonna wonder, like, why Yanya is no longer part of NRG. I think let's start it off with what happened at LAN. LAN was pretty good, actually. I'm like very surprised. I mean, obviously people were talking about us before we came. Like our scrims were like not bad. I think like people kind of just like talk a little too much on like the social medias and stuff like that. But I mean, we were placing pretty decently. I mean, we kept getting like top 6, maybe top 5 in our scrims. And like while that wasn't obviously top 3 or consistently first, like top 6 is like not terrible. It's not, really isn't. So we were going to the LAN, doing like pretty decent. And when we got to LAN, I mean, we just played really good. I mean, we got second place. We had a second, a fifth, a first, and a second, in the group stages. And now, dude, like, fuck. I mean, I was calling really well. Everyone was playing really well too. And then, the finals happened. And honestly, like, there's just like factors inside the last 6 games that kind of, how do I put it? It kind of like makes sense, but like from an outside perspective, you just don't understand. And obviously, like, let's talk about game 1, quarantine. So like quarantine is such like an insane POI. You get a bunch of Evo Harvs, bunch of pills, like beacons, and you should come out of there like honestly, like literally almost purple every single time. And if not, then you're blue. We literally left with white armor. And how we left with white armor is just like, bro, we had no console. We had a 1 Evo Harv and we had no pills. And we did have a pill in front of Hazmat Tunnel, but we didn't want to go towards Hazmat Tunnel because, I mean, that's just our fault. But apparently we can land on the Hazmat Tunnel pill. But like, we never like had that situation happen before. So like, obviously that's whatever. But yeah, we had white armor. We went and rotated. And then because we had white armor, we ran into a team that was an edge team that plays Fuse and Crypto. And they just EMP and kill us. You know what I mean? We could have actually survived and left 100%. And that was like a bad miscall by me and Yanya to like stay. But yeah, bad first game. Unfortunate. Happens. Game 2, my fault completely. 100%. I will take full blame for that game. We were rotating. And honestly, I wanted a spot in my mind. I wanted to see how to get there. I tried to say like, oh, let's go to the bean. Let's go evac from there. Guild said a team's driving up to bean, you can't go bean. So then I said, I come back to me, evac too late, and then we died off the evac. What can you do? Bad 2 games. From there, I mean, like obviously when you have 2 bad games and people are like getting close to match point, you're like, bruh. So game 3, I mean, we salvaged some points. We got second place there, but overall that kind of just, we definitely didn't deserve second place points there, but it is what it is. We got it. Salvaged it, so good shit. Game 4 got ran down by Twerkaholics. Overall, that fight could have been played better. That was a little bit more on Yanya. Yanya needed to play next to Guild. Guild kind of did as much damage as he could. I played a side angle. We kind of talked about that game. There's a lot of scenarios of what could have been better from all of us, but overall we got ran down by Twerkaholics. And yeah, that game 5 was a really good game. Best as we could have done. Obviously, like, could have gotten first, but I think we got 13 points that game, 13 or 12 points, and it was a solid game. Really good calling there. Game 6, I mean, we literally swung a door, and then I think Yanya got stuck by an arc star, and then we died. But it didn't matter. The tournament was over. It literally, like, 2 teams on match point. Falcons is going survey, so they have an instant rotate going towards that side, and then Alliance literally can get God spot. Like, bro, like, tournament's over. Tournament is over. So, regardless, I don't think we would have won the LAN, but you could always say, like, if we played better, maybe they wouldn't have been on match point as fast. Who knows? Yada, yada. Doesn't matter. I think the only thing that we could have definitely improved on, I think game 1 was definitely, like, nerves in general as a team. So, we had a bad first game, but, we could have actually, if we survived, we could have done the walk-in that we watched the team do, and they got like top 5. Game 2 would have been like at least like a 6 to 8 point game for us. And I would say the Trocaholics one, I mean, you never really know what's gonna happen there, but we could have ended off the tournament probably top 6 for sure. If we just, you know, would we have been like fucking second place? Probably not. Like how Alliance was just playing really well. I mean, we could have been 3rd, could have been 4th, 5th, who knows? But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Yeah, not like super like sad about what happened, you know? Like, it does suck that obviously like not performing that well, but you know, 12th for first time teaming was not bad. We dominated. We had a good performance. Just had a bad last 6 games. Happens. That's pretty much it. Picking up a new 3rd. Won't say who it is. The announcement will probably go out in a couple of days. So just be ready for that. Yeah, I'm still IGL. I will say though, I was IGLing pretty fucking good. Like, I just want to put that out there. Like, even Guild said it. He was saying like, dude, I fucking like opened up my 3rd eye and went fucking like Doctor Strange mode. So for those who just fucking yap all the time, fuck you. Fuck you. Oh wait, I actually didn't even talk about why. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we dropped Yanya, and it's for a couple of reasons. I would say like the main thing that you guys have to like. The main thing is Yanya's really good. He's a really good player. He does a really good job at like, you know, like when we asked him to do something and do like a player role and stuff like that, he would always be like, yeah, like, you know, like I'm down, I'll do it, you know, stuff like that. But I think ultimately what we needed for the team was just like not his role, you know what I mean? And while it could make sense to be like, okay, well, why don't you put Yanya on the entry character and then you do this, right? And there's just a lot of things, right? So I think the first thing to start off is that like everyone is like a different IGL, right? You look at like people like Hawkes who IGLs from the back, and then you look at someone like Zero who IGLs from the front, you know what I mean? And then while, you know, I can IGL from the back, I do think the way I IGL is better from the front, you know what I mean? Like me being the person in the front, me being the entry character, me kind of like seeing it with my own eyes rather than, you know, being the one in the back and, you know, kind of doing that. And because of that, we have to force Yanya on a character like Newcastle, you know what I mean? Or, you know, the anchor character and stuff like that. And it's just like not his type of role as like a player, you know what I mean? Like everyone has like strong suits, you know what I mean? Like for someone like me, look for me example, I can be a support player, I can be an IGL, I can, you know, play fucking anchor, I could play entry, I could play fragger, I can do all these things, but like just because you can do something doesn't mean that it's the best thing for you as a player. And I think like, yeah, just because like you can do all these things, it doesn't really put the player into their max like potential. And we just believe that Yanya is best when he IGLs and best when he entries. So yeah, I mean, like there's just like nothing else to that. Like we just think he would be better on a role where he IGLs and is a fragger, you know what I mean? And that's kind of like the same thing with me, right? I feel like I'm better at IGLing when I'm on that front character, you know what I mean? And it's just better to find and put, you know, a team together that just makes sense, you know what I mean? So that's pretty much it, you know what I mean? Like there's no like hard feelings, there's none of that, you know? Yeah. So we were picking up somebody who fits in that slot a little bit better. And I mean, truthfully, like I think there's like always people who make comments about like teams don't ever stick together anymore and really work like, you know, hard to kind of like fine tune their teams. And while I do agree 100%, that's like a common thing. You also have to think about like we've been playing the game for so long. Back then we didn't really know, you know what I mean? Like we play and we're kind of like doing this, doing that, and we're kind of just like hoping that a team would work out, right? You look at a super team, for example, right? I'll give 100 Thieves. We have Phony, we have Jen, we have Verholz, right? All three of them, are they truly like perfect together? They are really good players, and they're gonna perform really well, 100%. And like they got 4th place, you know, point proven. But like, does each and every single one of them fit into their role perfectly? You know what I mean? I'm not saying they aren't in any way, but it's just like you have to think about it of like, is this person a really good fragger? Is this person a really good support? You know what I mean? Everything like that. And yeah, like when you kind of like look at teams now and you build teams, sometimes it like you hope to believe that it will work out, and then after playing for like a month or two, like you'll immediately know it's like, okay, well, it's not working, and that's why you swap. You know what I mean? That's why you swap. You could brute force it 100%, but yeah, I mean, it's like esports is like real sports. You just have to like, you know, swap around, trade players, you know, build a different roster. Sometimes it has to do with just the skill level. Sometimes it has nothing to do with skill level. It could be literally just the synergy as a team. It could be literally like, you know, the vibes, everything, right? There's always those things that factor in, right? And that's why it's just like making a team is very hard, truly. Making it like a perfect team is really hard. I'm hoping that this next new third is going to be better for the team, but at the end of the day, it could be worse. You know, never know. You never know. But I'm excited. We got 2 more months until EWC, and yeah, we have Pro League coming up soon, like restarting. We got probably in, I think it's like maybe like 15 days, 2 weeks. So yeah. But the announcement is Waltzy's our new third.